Dr. Rocket right here at Kpft Houston, off of a great CD called Dr. Rocket Live, recorded at the fabulous Rockefellers right here in Houston, Texas, in November of 1981, it looks like.
Not on a CD.
It's 12-inch vinyl, baby.
That's an album that you're playing there. You got that vinyl spinning. I'll re-release it one of these days. Right. No, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to John Moran, probably. You know?
Very nice. It says you think the Urban Animals on this? Were they?
Oh yeah, you know,
a lot of your gigs.
The Urban Animals helped put us on the map.
They were big supporters.
We were a charter. Lisa Williams and I were kind of charter members of the Skater Gang, and they were who was packing Anderson Fair on Wednesday night, them and a whole lot of other people, you know, and we had sort of taken over that gig from Rocky Hill. I had done some of those Wednesdays with Rocky, and he just kind of didn't want to do it anymore. And actually, Little Screamin' Kenny from the Hightailers and Michael Canoose from the Fever Tree and I started what would become Dr. Rocket. We had this little band, and I'm trying to remember who was playing drums now, but I think it was Smitty. And we did a Wednesday night, and Mike Canoe said, "Heck, I don't want to do this no more." And so Kenny said, "Well, I do." And so that's when we started. We called it Dr. Rocket right then.
And Tommie Dardar does the harp on the track on this release.
No, this is Rich Layton. This is Rich Layton, who was, if you look on the back of the record, he lives in Portland now, but he was an original member of Dr. Rocket and
the harp player.
He still has a group called the Troublemakers in Portland now. All
right. Well, you got Tommie Dardar's name on the record.
Well, he probably is jamming on some songs, because our MO was we'd get up and play about a set, and then we'd get up and start the second set, and pretty much people would just start getting up and playing, and it was a real wide open jam, and that became a tradition for the next 5 or 6 years with Dr. Rocket. Every Monday we'd play either at Fitzgerald's or Rockefeller someplace, and we'd always have a big open jam. And so that may have encouraged some people to show up, but it was really more just like a lot of fun. Sure. and I didn't have to work so hard. You know?
Tell folks a little bit about what they should expect tomorrow night, and who else will be there that we haven't talked about at the Boom Boom Room tomorrow night at your show.
Wow, well, we have a great little band, and it's Tommy Lee on vocals, Steve Hunter here on drums, a guy named Ken Woodard on bass. And Ken is an equally great drummer and bass player, and he plays some guitar and sings, and myself. That's the core four. And then we have a guy named Jack Price who comes in as our utility man to play keyboards and a little extra guitar and put an extra vocal in.
And so, maybe some sax.
Yeah, and some sax. And we have to kind of work him in right before our gigs. You know, we practice all month. He lives in Austin, and he's coming in today, and we'll just be practicing a whole lot until, you know, to get him ready for things. But he's really good, and we really have a great time with this band. This band is about having some fun. Sure. And it's, you know, none of us are expecting to get rich from it, but we're all looking to play stuff and, you know, get to play cool gigs, and we've got good tight harmonies. All of us sing, and Tommy Lee is just extraordinary. When, you know, we've all fronted bands before.
Sure.
Ken Woodard is just an extraordinary player, and it's just a fun cat to play with. And he plays a lot around. He plays with Tommy Dardar and several other bands.
Dardar was at the last gig.
Yeah, that's right. Tommy Dardar sat in with us, and I have a feeling.
Still doing it.
I have a feeling
I have a feeling
some of that's going to go on tomorrow for sure. Last time we played over at the Boom Boom, it was packed, and Sharon Montgomery got up and sang, and Sandy Hickey and Tommy Dardar got up and played and sang with us, and so it's going to be a big family fun over there, you know. And
so this is a big super group just waiting to be recorded.
Oh, you bet. I know a good studio.
You know, that's kind of funny that we're talking about that, because as long as I've known you, that's the first time I've ever played one of your songs.
I know.
Wow.
Now I don't have any, and you know, that's
now you
brought me some. That's right. Now I do.
I tell you, you know, my band, the Sixpence, never had an album, but about 4 years ago, a company named Cherry Red Records out of England took all of our singles. We were a top band in Houston. We were right up there with all the top bands.
Sure.
But we never had an album, and we had probably 10 singles, and so they've all been re-released on a CD.
Right.
It's called Sixpence, the Summer Girl, the Greatest Hits.
Oh, you need to give me some of those.
I'll give you one of those, and I'll even go buy it on Amazon. Okay? And then the other one, my group Fun and Games was signed to Uni Records, which was MCA at the time, and we recorded, I said, with the Wrecking Crew, but most of the stuff we did here at Andrus, and that that album's been re-released on Cherry Red too. It's a stamp of approval with MCA on it, and you know it's a re-release of the Elephant Candy record. That was the name of the album,
Nice.
Elephant Candy. So those two things are in Amazon and out in the stores now, and we'll figure something out. I'll get you a compilation.
I'm
you
gonna
know,
have to hunt that stuff down.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this: there was a philosophy in the late '60s about recording that you were selling out, and especially in San Francisco. Did that philosophy take place here in town?
You know, I don't
and
know.
Is that why you didn't record with Sixpence?
No, what happened is you know, the Sixpence took a direction that I didn't want to go in. We signed with this Hollywood producer who was kind of turning us into the Beach Boys.
Pop
And
stuff,
yeah,
right?
and I was trying to take that sort of softer side of rock. I loved harmonies and I've always been that, but I wanted to combine it with the psychedelic thing that was going on, and I was writing songs about all kinds of stuff.
Flowers and rainbows.
Yes, right, you know, and it was like the rest of the band was steering into a different direction, and ultimately I just left with a couple of the guys, and we started a different band, and I started my descent into obscurity, which has been fine with me, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, well.
I became a support player in about '95 behind Tommie Dardar, and he gave me a chance to play some guitar and stuff. So, but tomorrow is the stuff. Tomorrow is something that we've been working on, and it's just a project just for pure fun and the passion for what we do.
We work very hard at it. Very hard at it.
We've got Rock Romano and Steve Hunter live in the Kpft studio. I think I did a pretty good job of queuing up the next song off of the Dr. Rocket live release, and this is called Dirty Dirty. Does it need any kind of introduction?
Yeah, I think it should. This was one of the songs that the guys I mutinied from Fun and Games wrote. His name is Mike Sumler, and I think he is still the best songwriter I ever knew, and he's playing piano and sax and a few other things on the Dr. Rocket album because he was in Dr. Rocket at the time. And this is his song Dirty Dirty, and the Tommy Lee Bradley Band has learned that song, and we're going to be playing it tomorrow night. So that's a great seg.
All right, very nice. And
Okay.
we're going to talk to her in just a second, all right?
Okay.
So here we go, Dirty Dirty, Dr. Rocket live, and if you like this, well, they'll be playing it tomorrow night over at the Boom Boom Room. Yeah, you gonna call her?
Mm-hmm.